Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to another Dragon Ball Super discussion video. I am once again joined by the one, the only, the other half of the dynamic duo, MJ over at MJ TV. MJ, why don't you say hello to everyone listening?
Hello everybody that is listening.
This guy, I was taking a sip of coffee. Guys, today we're going to be talking about, you saw the title, you saw the thumbnail, we're going to be talking about Zeno versus Zeno, the next tournament of power. What do we mean by this? Well, if you guys were privy to MJ's awesome stream the other day, you might have an inclination as to what this is going to be about, but if not, allow me to elaborate at least a little bit. So we do know that the Future Trunks arc introduced us to the concept that there are two Zenos in the main timeline of Dragon Ball Super right now, and a lot of people, myself included, have talked about how is that going to continue throughout the entire series of Dragon Ball Super? Like, there can't be two Zenos. They're going to have to take each other out some way or another. How is that going to be? How are they going to interact as they go forward, especially since they've introduced the Future Zeno to the concept of tournaments and eliminating universes for the fun of it and yada, yada, yada. These two Zenos have been nothing but diabolical and everything in that way from the very get-go. And I have an idea here. I have an idea that I think you're going to like. I know you've already heard it, but I want you to elaborate on any thoughts and opinions you have on it after I say it. I think, everyone's been thinking about maybe there's going to be a second tournament of power sometime down the line. What is that going to be about? Will it kind of introduce Bra and Pan and Goten and Trunks and Oob into the picture, considering the ending of Dragon Ball Z? What does all of this tie into? What if at the end of the tournament of power they don't bring back the universes just because someone wants to wish them back, like Vegeta or Goku or Gohan or Jiren or Toppo or anyone else that might have just that generic wish into them? But the two Zenos, and I think you mentioned this in your thing, the two Zenos are so excited about what they've seen that they're kind of separated on whether or not they'd want to see it again. So the Future Zeno, not having been a part of, I guess, running the future in the same way that the present Zeno has this idea that, oh, I want to see this again. That was so much fun. But the present Zeno is like, well, the only reason I did this is because I wanted to just take out the universes without the higher mortal levels and give the winning universe the benefit of the doubt and allow them a chance to actually recover. And they get into a fight about whether or not they want to do this again or whether or not there's going to be enough universes to do this again. They can't keep erasing universes and yada, yada, yada. So they just decide that they're going to continue this again, and they're going to separate it 4v4 instead of 6v6 or something else like that. So we still get the impact of some of the universes being erased, being kind of cannon fodder and not really important to the story, but some of the ones that we focus more on being part of the almost a losing universe, where the one who wanted the higher mortal levels gets universe 1, 12, 5, and 8, and the one who wants to do this again and again gets people like 6, 7, and I guess 2, and what would be the third, like 4. They get those universes, and then they just do the tournament of power again, where it's Zeno versus Zeno. What are your thoughts, man?
I like that. If I remember correctly, didn't once upon a time ago when Kanji used to upload, didn't we do a discussion video talking about the possible idea? It's a different scenario, but the possible idea of the Tournament of Power actually, or the Universe Survival arc back then as we knew it, being Zeno versus Zeno, and then one Zeno had Goku as the pick and the other one had Vegeta. So it would be it would be the Zeno versus Zeno, and then we would get the third final conclusion of Goku versus Vegeta. I've always liked the concept of the two Zenos kind of going out of their way and kind of getting into an argument and creating a scenario where we get a future tournament. I know some people are going to be upset about it because see, it's not so much that we had a lot of tournaments, because when you go back to Dragon Ball, almost every arc. There was a tournament in each arc. The difference here, and I'm not even kidding, guys. I mean, the first arc was the Pilaf arc. The second was the Tenkaichi. There was a little mini tournament in the Baba tournament that was in the Red Ribbon Army arc, the conclusion of it. Then we had the 22nd tournament, and then don't even get me started on the little mini tournaments that we had inside the filler. Then we had the tons of tournaments in the Dragon Ball era, but these have been a big lackluster, at least to some people's opinion. I agree. I'm not going to get into all that. So I can see why some people may be upset with getting another tournament. However, though, if it's handled right, I would forgive him because it would technically only be the third tournament in this arc. And by the time all this ends, bro, like the Tournament of Power, when we get into the new arc, we're going to be like at 150 episodes probably. So that's, to have just two tournaments in the span of 150 episodes really isn't that bad, at least in my opinion. But anyways, I like the concept of Zeno versus Zeno and how that would actually change the game. You have one Zeno who, and I think what's cool about it is that we were talking about this on the live stream. It's kind of like one Zeno who goes, yeah, we'll wish back the other universes, and then you turn to the other Zeno, the one who keeps like raising the wrong hand, and he's like, no. You know what I mean? And I think that's a cool little scene to do, because to us, the audience, we're like, oh man, are they gonna start scrapping? Oh man, what's gonna happen here? You know what I mean? It causes conflict and it causes tension, and that would be cool heading into this new arc. But overall, the concept is really cool, and I think the one thing about it is that it would be okay. So the one thing about this is that it cannot be a battle royale, which you talked about. I really don't want it to be the 80, all going at the same time. That's just my opinion, though. But overall, the concept, I really do enjoy.
I think it'd be cool if it was teams. I mean, that's the one thing we've really wanted this entire time is a team-based tournament. And it doesn't have to be 10v10. It could be 5v5 or something else like that, and going down to the Yu Yu Hakusho Dark Tournament route where you can choose to do 1v1 or 5v5, and then you kind of build up these tournaments or these universes that we haven't seen through the first tournament or something else like that, where they have characters who are like the Toguro character from the Dark Tournament who can come in and just completely wreck shop. In fact, considering you're not doing this tournament next, like this isn't going to be the next tournament. If it is, then someone is severely like story challenge, like that wouldn't be the next tournament. But doing something that would probably build up the next tournament in one way with another universe that maybe was exempt, introducing a character who's going to offer Goku and Vegeta a problem at the next tournament a couple years down the line or something, would be kind of a good arc. And then have them kind of alone wrecking shop with like a tire, like maybe like I said, if they're only bringing back 4, so it's like I get the 4 that we exempted in the first place, and you get whatever 4 that you wanted. So you can have Universe 7, you can have Universe 11, you can have Universe 2, and you can have Universe 6. Those are the ones that we gave the most time to. It would make sense that those are the ones that they would probably pick because they had the best fights overall that lasted the longest. You want ones with higher battle levels, the ones that gave you the biggest thrills and all this other stuff, So you bring in someone who can just completely destroy Universe 2, and you're like, oh man, like what's gonna happen?
Well, I mean, that goes back to what we talked about in previous videos. There's Jin, the God of Destruction of Universe 12. That universe is looked at as the ultimate universe. Even though Universe 1 is still the one with the highest mortal level, for some reason this universe is looked at as the ultimate universe, and he's dubbed the ultimate God of Destruction. Does that mean he's stronger? No, that probably just means he's really good at his job and he likes destroying stuff, right? And that takes care of, he's actually active and he decides what to destroy and whatnot, compared to Beerus, who just destroys stuff over food, if you will. So the idea of like Universe 12, get this, I'm gonna paint a picture for you. So I'm gonna paint a picture for you. I'm Bob Ross right now, bro. Let me get my brush. So anyways, we have Universe 12, who's a part of, let's say, the future Zeno, right? Then we have the present Zeno, who has, Universe 6, possibly 2 or 3 with 7 and 11. Obviously 7 and 11. 7-Eleven, get your slushies. Anyways, I'm wilding, guys, forgive me. Anyways, so you have Universe 12, it would be cool to see what type of fighters they have, because me and you have talked about the fact that Jin really didn't seem all too impressed with Goku versus Jiren. Like, he really did not get interested in the fight until Goku launched the Genkidama and it started destroying like the arena and stuff. That's when he was like, oh, this is interesting. Let me go ahead and watch this. You know what I mean? Let me go ahead and just pay attention to this fight. What's cool about that is that we headcanon that's an easy way to retcon that there's stronger mortals out there. You can say, oh, Jiren's the strongest mortal in the lower mortal level universes, you know. There's actually a whole other level, buddy, you know what I mean, in the higher ups. Even though I understand, because people were bringing this up in the comment section of your video, I want to hammer down, yes, guys, we understand the mortal level is not about battle power. However, that doesn't necessarily mean there's no strong warriors in that universe. It's not like they're all fodder, you know what I mean? So with that being said, it would be cool, Mark, paint the picture here, where we have Universe 11 and 12 have this rivalry, and it would be cool to get the Pride Troopers versus whoever Jin and his angel picked, and it's just cool because you get the Pride Troopers of Universe 11, the Justice Universe versus the Ultimate Universe, you know, as they're dubbed. It would be cool to get the conflict and the tension there and kind of get the, who's the more alpha, you know what I mean? Jiren versus these guys. There's so many ways you can go with this. It can be like really, really cool in my opinion.
I completely agree. I'd really like to see that sometime down the line. And let's just get this straight. This isn't going to be something that we are depicting as being the next arc of Dragon Ball Super. I think that would be kind of ridiculous. But as a way of, if this arc was retiring some of its older characters like the androids and Tenshinhan, Krillin, and Master Roshi, but keeping Gohan and Goku and Vegeta and potentially even Frieza, if you're going to bring him back in one way or another, but introducing people like Oob and Trunks and Goten and Brawl and Pan in order to kind of fill out the main spots, something like that, it would be great. I think that would be one of the best things that Dragon Ball Super can give us, and also just an idea of where the story is actually going to go in the future. Like you said, save the big universe for last. You know, these are going to be our big guys. And like you said, we did that video earlier on and people just didn't get it through their heads. Obviously, we know that it has nothing to do with battle level, but it does, like, the whole point of that video was how ruthless are they. I mean, they do their job so effectively that they are able to have high mortal levels. And how advanced are they as well? But, like, that's the point. Like, the only universe we've ever seen do any type of mortal level situation was Gowasu. And Zamasu kind of training him was like, look, you know, like, you can't, you know, it's not your job. It's the God of Destruction's job to take these people out if he sees fit. It's not your job. You just have to kind of wait and watch and make sure that they're advancing. And we can go 1,000 years in the future and they're not advancing, yada, yada, yada. So, like, to me, it really boiled down to maybe the 4 universes exempt are, although they're good at their jobs, if you kind of boil it down, is like, oh man, like, these guys are ruthless. Like, they like, it's almost terrible what they're doing to these planets. Like, they're not giving them any chance, really, because the gods of destructions are really good at their jobs. They go around as like, you know, you've had like 20 years, bro, bye. like that type of thing is like, it's just like this endless cycle of just awfulness. Like,
constantly checking up on the planets, and the ones who haven't risen to, I guess, their expectations, they're gone. You know what I mean? Even if they did have a chance, they're just gone. And that's what leaves some of the few planets, or the, you know, again, we're just all speculating here on these exempt universes, but that could reign to why some of these other planets are just so advanced, with maybe warriors who are advanced as well. You know what I mean? Not enhanced, advanced. You know what I mean? Who have like a higher knowledge of fighting and stuff like that. Like I said, painting the picture of like Universe 12, and the reason why I'm picking them specifically is because they're dubbed the Ultimate Universe. It would be cool to see like one guy who is absolutely a monster from Universe 12, and I can just imagine Vermouth like, nobody can beat Jiren, right? Kind of uttering the words he used in the special, and you have Jin with his arms crossed, and he looks over and he smiles, and he looks back at the tournament stage. That would be dope, bro. That would be, because it's like, oh my gosh, what are they hiding? It's so cool, and you could kind of paint the picture that you have one Zeno who's like, I'm all about power. We need the higher battle powers. Let's do this. And that's being the future one probably, and then the present one who's more about wanting to see just cool things in general, and maybe kind of siding with the people who have more heart, kind of like Goku and Hit and stuff. You know what I mean?
And Universe 2 and
Universe 2. I think it would just be cool like that. That you could really paint the picture of these two being really different and rooting for different things, and then you have on the tournament stage, however you want to do the tournament. It would be cool though if it was like team v team, but like let's say you have all 4 from present and all 4 from the future, right? The futures in those 2 teams. They pick 5 out of those bunch. Imagine if we got imagine this, bro. Hit, Jiren, Rubrian, Vegeta, Kaba. Imagine that team up against some.
Where's Goku?
I forget Goku. He can come in later. That would be a wacky team up. You know what I mean? And it would be cool to see them all work together. Can you imagine Hit and Jiren working together to face a stronger threat?
It would be dope. It would be kind of cool to have a 5v5. You have all 80 fighters, but you have to send in 1 fighter for every single match. So yeah, you could have a Ribrianne, Vegeta, Kaba, Topo, and all the second fiddles, basically. Not Ribrianne, but all the second fiddles versus all these other guys. There's just so much potential there. And if they were going to do a sequel to this Tournament of Power, if they were going to do a second major tournament with all the other multiverses, I really think that this would be the best way to do it. The Zenos going after each other, give us a reason why there are 2 Zenos. They have this different idea, like you said, brawn over heart. And the main timeline Zeno is just look, I really appreciate how much fight and effort these people brought. We should save them because it would be fun to have this over again and maybe introduce all the tournaments and not really make them all go away. Maybe not erase them. And the other one's look, I've had to erase so many universes before. I had to erase those 6. I just had to erase this other one in my timeline. It would be great to just not have to deal with these universes that broke the rules constantly and all these other things, and be able to just rely on the ones that do their job right. And then you just separate the multiverse. You draw a line down the middle of the multiverse for these 2 Zenos that might, even after that decision is made, start resenting and hating each other. And what would that do to the overall scope of the Dragon Ball universe? Be awesome to explore, in my opinion.
No, I completely agree, man. I really do.
Anyway, guys, we're going to leave it at that. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell over by the subscriber button to notify you every single time I upload. Go down to the description section below and hit that link to go subscribe to MJ. The guy makes some awesome Dragon Ball Super discussion videos. One every single day for you guys. Always different. Don't forget to check it out. With that being said, I hope everyone has a fantastic day. It's been real.